All right, so once you know how to apply basic effects to your clips, it's really cool if you can actually animate them. So we're going to go over some basics of animating an effect. And what I'm going to do to start with here is we're just going to have this title screen, Kenzo's Magical Ride, and I want it to kind of zoom in as people are watching it. So as it is right now, this is a 5-second long clip. It's made using a title, and if I play it, nothing actually happens. It just stays on the screen static for 5 seconds. Well, if I go up to my motion here and under effect controls, and again, if you can't see the effect controls, just go to window and go to effect controls, it'll pop up. When I open up the motion, I have my standard attributes here. So I got the position, scale, rotation. I want to animate the scale, and I kind of want it to go from there, like really small, up to about, that size there. So the way you want to think about animating is what it's going to look like at the start and what it's going to look like at the end. And Premiere will make it kind of flow smoothly from those 2 points. Any attribute that has a little stopwatch there means you can animate it. So you can see right there it says toggle animation. So if I think about the start and the end point, well, I want to start this clip, and so it's scaled down maybe 15% there. And I want it to start right at the beginning of the clip. So I'm going to move my, my time indicator right to the start. To activate the animation, I'm just going to toggle the animation button like that. And you can see it puts in a little diamond there that's called a keyframe. So if at the start it's going to be 15%, I want it to then go to the end, right to the end of the clip, and I want that to be maybe, we want it really big there, 150. So it puts another keyframe right there. So I've got the 2 keyframes, and now when I play it, it's actually going to go from small to large. And it's going to take 5 seconds to go that far. And you can see when you move it back and forth here that the scale actually changes. So it's making it smoothly go through the 2 changes there. So you get a nice animated effect. So that's the basics. And you can do that with anything. Anything that has the stopwatch. So all the effects that you can add down here, pretty much all of them have those little stopwatches. So you can do a lot of stuff with your animation. Now let's do one that's a little more involved. So what I've got here is it's just a little green screen we've got where Kenzo's going to be flying here. Now just to show you where I've kind of gone with this, I'm going to turn off the background. And you can see that under my video effects, I've got my standard motion, opacity, time remapping. Well, I've put on an 8-point garbage matte, an ultra key, and a fast color corrector. So if I start taking those off, the color corrector just kind of adjusted his colors a little bit. The ultra key is what I use to take care of all the green screen, and there's another tutorial that shows you how to use ultra key. And the 8-point garbage matte just kind of cut it out, so I was just getting green in the background. So I'll put all those back on. The background itself is just going to be this clip right here. I just pulled this off of YouTube. It's from Plane, and I added a little color to it, and then I reversed it. So this is what Kenzo's going to be flying through. Now I'm going to use the same principles that I just talked about. We want to think about where is he going to be at the start and where is he going to be at the end. So let's talk about, actually I might use the scale as well. So I'm going to make it look like he's kind of flying towards the camera. So to do that, I'm going to open up my motion, and this is going to be a scale. And so you can see he's kind of smaller, and then he's getting bigger like that. So at the start of my clip, right here, I want him to be quite small. So he's going to be just kind of coming off the edge of the screen. And because I want him to animate, I make sure that I click right on there to toggle the animation. There's that keyframe, so that's telling me that at the very start of the clip, at 0 seconds, he's going to be scaled at 8%. Well then, when I get to the end here, and maybe I won't even go to the end, maybe I'll go to about, 8 seconds in, he's going to be much larger. That's going to make it look like he's kind of flying towards us. So now, if I were to play this, he comes towards us like that. I've got a little bit of shadow at his feet, but I'm not too worried about that right now. Okay, now it's a little static because obviously when we film this, he's literally standing in our green screen and he's not moving, right? He's just kind of wobbling up and down, and we put a fan going to get his hair blowing, but we actually want him to kind of have a little movement. So in addition to animating the scale, I think we're going to animate the position. So I'm going to animate the position here, and if you remember, if you actually click on the kind of the heading of your video effect, so in this case motion, it allows you to drag it. So let's pretend he's kind of, coming in from up in the corner here. And then at the end, I want him to be maybe here, as if he's kind of eventually going to go off screen. But I can also add a few other keyframes. So maybe at the midpoint here, I want him up like this. So you can see every time that I move my timer here, and then I move the position, it actually puts a keyframe. So I've actually got 4 keyframes here, and it creates this kind of bendy line. So if I watch to see what it's going to look like now, comes in, and he's going to come right up into the camera there. And I got a neat little effect. That's pretty much the principles of it right there. It just takes a little bit of practice to play around with. But once you start using these animators, you can really do a lot of neat stuff with it. Last thing I might do is I might just move these over, and I'll take that sequence of the title that I just made, and I'll push these over right there, and my whole video looks something like this. And that's it. Good luck.